Hello students, welcome to Daily English Homework. Let's take a look at the homework. It says write 3 sentences using in contrast, on the other hand, on the contrary. These 3 phrases confuse a lot of students, especially this number 3, on the contrary. Well, in this video, I am going to explain exactly how and when to use these phrases. So watch the video. You're going to be an expert and do the homework. So the homework is open and free to everyone. If you are watching me right now, please do the homework. Do this homework. Post it in the comments below this video. I will check it and get back to you if you had any mistakes. All right. So let's get started. In contrast. What is in contrast? It's used when you are comparing two things. Comparing two things or people and saying that the second one is very different from the first. You have two things. You have this thing and you have this thing, and you are comparing what is different. And we're going to use in contrast to emphasize what is different. Instead of me holding my hands up, let's look at an example sentence. I love my online students. In contrast. Okay, I know there's going to be something that doesn't match. I do not like my offline students. All right, so I'm comparing two groups of people, my online students, my offline students. So I love my online students. In contrast, there's a big difference because I do not like I love my online students, but I do not like my offline students. So I'm going to emphasize that difference with in contrast here. Are these sentences true? Maybe. Just think of them as example sentences. Let's look at on the other hand. On the other hand is used to introduce a contrasting. We have contrasting. Something that doesn't match. In contrast. Contrasting. Doesn't match. It's used to introduce a contrasting point of view. A contrasting opinion, fact, or situation. Let's look at these sentences. Many of my videos are too old and should be removed. Okay, so I've been a YouTuber for 10 years and I have a lot of old videos. They're too old. They should be removed. So that's an opinion. That's a point of view. On the other hand, let's look at another point of view. Those videos are still helping a lot of students learn English. Okay, so I have old videos, they should be removed. But on the other hand, they're still helping students. So maybe I shouldn't remove them because they still have value. Okay, so I'm considering these 2 points of view. Are in contrast and on the other hand interchangeable. They are synonyms. They are very close, but are they interchangeable? Interchangeable means do they mean exactly the same thing? No, they don't. They are different phrases. They are used in different ways depending on the situation, depending on what you're comparing, all right? Sometimes they are interchangeable. Sometimes, and in this lesson, I have a couple times they are interchangeable. I will talk about that. But in your mind, I want you to think of them as 2 completely different phrases we use in different ways. Now, if we take a look at this sentence, his angry comments were in contrast to his earlier statements. Okay, we have comments, he said something, statements, he said something. Comments and statements, these are synonyms. So he had some angry comments maybe now, and they were in contrast. Didn't match were different to his earlier statements. Okay. Can I say, on the other hand, here, his angry comments were, on the other hand, to his earlier statements? No. Grammatically, we would have to change many grammatical, the grammatical form of this sentence to possibly make it match, but the best phrase to use here is in contrast. Let's move on. On the other hand, is better for considering a decision. So, in contrast and on the other hand are great for formal writing like essays, IELTS, or TOEFL. These are great phrases to use, transitional phrases to use. But for day-to-day speaking, on the other hand, is more common for speaking. Usually people don't really say in contrast in their speaking. It's a little too formal. But on the other hand, we have to make decisions. We have to think about many things every day. So we're going to use on the other hand. And let's look at the example here. I want to buy a dog. So I'm thinking about buying a dog. I want to buy a dog. So I'm thinking that's my view right now is a dog would help my life. On the other hand, so let's look at a different view. Cats are easier to take care of. I want to buy a dog, but on the other hand, cats are easier to take care of. So I'm going to buy a cat. Okay, so comparing these different viewpoints on the other hand. Right? This is what we have to think about every day, whether we get a dog or a cat. Very important sentences. I could study for 4 hours today. I'm thinking. On the other hand, I could play computer games for 4 hours. So there's this view. On the other hand, there's this view. What am I going to do? I know, again, you students are thinking about this every day. I could study English or I could watch Netflix. On the other hand, I could watch Netflix like that. I could study English for 4 hours today. On the other hand, I could watch Netflix for 4 hours. I think I will study English. That's the correct attitude. All right, let's get into on the contrary. So this is the big one that confuses everyone. And I will do my best to explain it. And it's not that difficult. Let's look at what it says here. It's used for emphasizing that something is true, even though it is the opposite of something that has been said. So yes, something is said, something is mentioned, and you're going to use on the contrary to emphasize the truth that this sentence is not true or not right. So and I should point out its meaning is not the same as in contrast or on the other hand. In contrast, on the other hand, are very, very close. But on the contrary, again, it's all in the same family, but I'll explain it this way. Sorry. In contrast, on the other hand, are brothers. On the contrary is the sister. So they're same family, but there are big differences. Two brothers and a sister is a big difference, but same family. I'm going to get comments about that comparison. All right. Lena was late. Blank. Pallavi was early. So here, what are we going to use? On the contrary, on the other hand, in contrast. So we got to use one of those. Let's look down here. Lena was not late. Blank. She was 10 minutes early. We're going to use something else here. Before we answer, let's look at our notes. In contrast, on the other hand, are used to refer to a different subject that is different from the first subject. Okay, we're getting into grammar. We have two subjects in our sentences, or two sentences. We're talking about different subjects, and I'll explain that in a moment. On the contrary is used to refer to that same subject and to emphasize the first statement is not true. All right, let's go back here. Lena was late. Pallavi was early. This is two subjects. We're talking about two different subjects, Lena and Pallavi. So we cannot use on the contrary here. Okay? We have to use, on the other hand, we have to use in contrast. Which one do we use here? Well, actually, both of them are possible here. Lena was late, Pallavi was early. You could say, on the other hand, or in contrast. Both of those could work here. I don't care which one you use. It really depends on what you're writing about, the whole situation. But let's look at this one. Lena was late. She. Okay, we have the same subject. We're talking about the same subject. This is very important when you're using on the contrary. All right, so Lena was not late. Okay, so someone or something is suggesting Lena was late. And this idea is wrong. Lena's not late. Okay, Lena's not a late person. Lena's not late. So this sentence is, the idea of this sentence that Lena being late is wrong. So now I'm going to say, on the contrary, what is the truth? She was 10 minutes early. Okay, so this is same subject. We're Lena and Lena. On the contrary, she was 10 minutes early. Okay, so that's a big difference. On the other hand, in contrast, different subjects, and on the contrary, you're talking about the same subject. So let's look at some more speaking here. Person A says, I think you hated the movie. And this person says, on the contrary, I loved the movie. So same subject, you, I. This talking about the same person. And this person wants to emphasize the truth, meaning this statement is wrong. I think you hated the movie. This is wrong. I want to tell you it's wrong. So I'm going to use on the contrary. That statement's wrong. The truth, I loved the movie. I think you hated the movie. On the contrary, I loved the movie. Let's look at this one. I think you hate your job. Kind of. But on the other hand, it pays well. Okay. So in this case, I think you hate your job. He says kind of. So I have one viewpoint. That I kind of hate my job. But I also have another viewpoint. It pays well, which is good. Okay, so I would use on the other hand here. If I want to use on the contrary, I think you hate your job. On the contrary, I love my job. This statement is wrong, and I want to tell you this is the truth. I love my job, okay? So focusing here on the viewpoints, and here just you want to say this statement is wrong. This is the true statement. Her new hairstyle looks amazing. On the contrary, my new hairstyle looks terrible. Is this okay? her new hairstyle looks amazing. On the contrary, my new hairstyle looks amazing. This doesn't work because we have different subjects. We're talking about her, and now we're talking about me. We can't use on the contrary. So this is all wrong here. Now I can change it. Her new hairstyle looks amazing. On the contrary, her new hairstyle looks terrible. So I have to keep the subject the same. Her new hairstyle looks amazing, and I'm going to say no. This sentence is wrong. This is the truth. Her new hairstyle looks amazing. In contrast, on the other hand, my hairstyle looks terrible. So I could use both of these. Because it's spoken, I'm going to use on the other hand. As I said before, on the other hand is more common for speaking. In contrast is a little formal, used mainly in essays. But in this case, you could use both. But again, on the other hand, I'm comparing her and my hairstyle. Different subjects, I'm going to use on the other hand. Extra practice. So let's take a look. I hate studying English. I need to study it to improve my score. What is the answer here? I hate studying English. In contrast, on the other hand, on the contrary, what am I going to put here? So this looks more like an opinion. I hate is an opinion, studying English. So for opinions are viewpoints. So right here, on the other hand, would be best to use. I hate studying English. That's one idea. On the other hand, I need to study it to improve my score. Blank. With last year's profits, the company is not doing well. All right, we have last year's profits and maybe this year's profits. So we're comparing this last year's profits, this year's profits. So in this case, in contrast would be best. In contrast with last year's profits, the company is not doing very well. Comparing the profits. I thought he was stupid, but he was very intelligent. Okay, so right here I see he. Here, let's put that at orange. And I see another he. So we're talking about the same subject here. And we know it's going to be, we're talking about the same subject. And the idea he was stupid, but actually the truth is he's very intelligent. That's the truth. So yeah, I thought he was stupid, but on the contrary, he was very intelligent. The opposite is true. On the contrary, he is very intelligent. Homework. Write 3 sentences. They might not exactly be 3 sentences. You might have to write for like, here, let me fix this. It's actually not number 4. They might not actually be 1 sentence. You might have to write 2 sentences, right? So do your best. Just show me that you understand in 1 or 2 sentences that you understand in contrast, 1 or 2 sentences you understand on the other hand, and 1 or 2 sentences that you understand on the contrary. All right, that's your homework. It's open to everyone. Please post it below. Homework tips. Also, please always check your grammar and spelling. Do not upload anything with wrong spelling. If you have wrong spelling, I will not check it. Okay, so please correct your spelling. And you can use a program like Google Docs, what I'm using now, or MS Word. Write about yourself. If you could write your own story using these phrases, great. Be sincere and serious about your homework. I am very serious when I check the homework. So please do not spend 30 seconds doing your homework. Take the time, do your best. I want to see effort. Post your homework in the comments section and come into the WhatsApp group. Don't post homework in the WhatsApp group, but you can practice pronunciation and discuss the homework there. All right, everyone, that is your homework. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next video. And until then, please do your homework.